Today, we're trying to decode the enigma of Sharad Pawar. Now, the origin of Maharashtra means the origin of Sharad Pawar, chieftain of the Nationalist Congress Party, emerging onto the scene since 1959, even in 2023. It seems he is far from hanging his boots as far as his political career is concerned. From orchestrating the debacle of the Patil government in 1978 to single-handedly architecting the MVA in 2019, Sharad Pawar has been called the mastermind that never goes out of fashion. Several times Chief Minister of the state, with extensive union government experience, speaks volumes of the man's political maturity. Regional parties have time and again thought of confiding in him. But the enigma Sharad Pawar is, friend of all and confidant of none, has made it difficult for his peers to understand him. Some would say he can't be trusted easily. NCP leaders Sharad Pawar and Ajit Pawar have recently taken contrary stances from their opposition allies, praising Prime Minister Modi and backing Adani. The NCP leaders' changes in the stance merits the questions over the message Sharad Pawar and Ajit Pawar are sending up. So, the main questions we're trying to decode here. Can Pawar be understood? Can the opposition alliance be unlocked without him? Does he wield the same kind of political pull that he used to? And is he still the kingmaker or somebody that can't be trusted as much? We've got the man behind the story. We've got an NCP spokesperson with us on the panel here. We're going to try and decode these questions. But before that, a snippet of that documentary, The Enigma of Sharad Pawar. We're going to play that out for you and then go on to the discussion. Take a look.
Pawar came into politics just ahead of Maharashtra coming into being, 59-60 onward. So still he is relevant. And the importance of Pawar is that he is never out of use, the expiry date kind of a thing. He's always contemporary. He's always on the move. He tries to understand. He's not like other politicians who think they have arrived, So this is the beauty of Pawar, and he's one of the most hard-working politicians.
We all call him the walking, talking encyclopedia. When I think I'm going to go and discuss something which is probably new for him, I get a rude shock because he knows more than me.
It starts with 1978 when he backstab was the word used by then, since then it started sticking to him. Vasantdada Patil government, he was part of it. And the blessing for that, it came after that. It's been reported also, widely written also about Yashwantrao Chavan's idea basically to dislodge the government. But the actual action of dislodging was led by Mr. Pawar.
Backstabbing is the khasiyat of Sharad Pawar politics. It is always better for his political discourse, political suitability to work with Uddhav Thackeray. Uddhav Thackeray was just puppet of NCP and Congress.
There has been concerted effort to frame Pawar into certain color. It started with 1992-93 onwards. So there is so much of media creation about Pawar's so-called untrustworthy or not trustworthy image.
The most consistent feature of the Maratha strongman style of politics is his unpredictability. Pawar likes to keep his adversaries as well as his confidants guessing. This has ensured his political longevity. He has also outwitted those who call him a regional leader and stayed relevant in national politics.
Despite having political rivals, political challengers at different political places, nobody has been able to actually frame Pawar.
He was never a relevant politician at India level, all India level. He remained Maharashtra level politician, but it is very unfortunate and sad on part of Sharad Pawar. Because of his policies, casteist politics, now he not only remained as a even Maharashtra politician, he now became leader of one caste.
If there is one leader who stands tall and who everybody feels like going and confiding in, and here I'm not talking about my party, I'm talking about parties all across the country. There are now second generation regional leaders in quite a few states. Their fathers would do it, the sons are doing it. They all feel like coming across and comforting themselves by sharing whatever is weighing on their mind, by sitting and talking to Pawar Sahib. So if he was not trustworthy, would that have come about?
Well, joining us on the broadcast is the man behind this journalistic endeavor, Kiran Tare from Mumbai, and spokesperson for the Nationalist Congress Party, Clyde Castro. Very warm welcome to the both of you. Kiran, first and foremost, the name of the documentary, The Enigma of Sharad Pawar. What's so special about this particular politician? I mean, the timelessness, how he remains contemporary throughout the ages, throughout the years. And why did you select to do a story on Sharad Pawar, given the current political scenario in the country?
In a current political scenario in the country, you can't neglect Sharad Pawar, a person like a tall stature like Sharad Pawar. You like him, you don't like him, you love him, you hate him, but you can't ignore him. Pawar politics is essence of the country. Pawar knows the pulse of the country. So when Pawar said that there was an attempt to frame Adani, he meant something. When Pawar said that there was something which people like about Savarkar, there was something meant to it. And Pawar is one person who has friends in every party. No one can neglect him. No one can overlook his demands. No one can overlook his thoughts. But here the problem is that even if Pawar is a binding force for the for the opposition parties, will he be able to keep them united against the BJP? Here the problem is, we are analyzing to say that Pawar is a very accurate politician, very astute politician. His political moves are so different that even his opponents are not able to guess what he's going to do. But is that enough? Will it give an edge to the unity of the opposition? Will it lead to a united front against the ruling BJP? That is what the question is. This is what in our mind while doing the story.
Mr. Castro, I know I've put you on a spot because we're talking about this documentary that talks about the enigma of Sharad Pawar. And the more superlatives or, strong adjectives that you use, it's going to look like you're sugarcoating your chieftain, your leader over here. But at the same time, is it actually the truth that it's impossible to make out Sharad Pawar, frame him, try to understand him, even as over the years, so many other regional leaders have come out and, confided in him. In the documentary, it's mentioned that, their fathers would do it. And now they're also coming out and they're really, confiding in Sharad Pawar. Given the current political scenario, the recent moves that he's been making, he just met Mallikarjun Kharge and Rahul Gandhi as well, and the recent comments that he made on Prime Minister Modi and Adani vis-a-vis the JPC demand that is being, that probe is being demanded in the parliament, was being demanded rather. The session was a complete washout. What do you have to say about the documentary? Give us a sense how you read the documentary. Have you watched it?
Yeah, well, I did watch it. And I'm going to be very candid about what I speak. And Kiranji here knows that, I speak very candidly and I don't mince my words when I'm talking. At the same time, I'm never crass. My point is very clear here. First of all, you spoke to a BJP spokesman who's a motor mouth, okay, and is a frustrated spokesperson and a cadre of the BJP himself. So when he talks about, using, different kinds of words, which I don't want to use for Mr. Sharad Pawar, I can only say that he's frustrated. He's totally not in sync with his own leader, Mr. Narendra Modi, because Mr. Narendra Modi himself has gone to say that Mr. Sharad Pawar is his guru. So if his own leader follows someone who's a guru and, Atul Bhatkalkar goes and, kinds of use these kinds of words, then I feel sorry for him. Secondly, you spoke, I've seen your documentary and Mr. Girish Kuber and one of us spoke, so I think Avinash Adik was there. I mean, you have to be sort of politically intelligent and smart to understand what Mr. Sharad Pawar is all about. He's an astute leader, a person whom I personally know, and he's not just a politician. He is someone who knows political science. His knowledge of governance, his knowledge of government is unparalleled. Nobody can, I don't know anyone who can come close to him in understanding what governance is all about. The fact of the matter is, when you say that he cannot be trusted, people who do not know politics, who do not believe in the science of politics, find it difficult to trust because they don't understand what politics is all about. And when you are a politician, you have to be part of the political process. If you're in a politics, you can't be a doctor. You are not doing what a doctor does. A doctor does what he does, an architect does what he does, and a politician who knows political science does what he has to do. So that is what Mr. Pawar is all about. I mean, I'll tell you something. We've been around for nearly 24 years. In 24 years, if you look at our record, our history, for 17 and a half years, we've been in government in Maharashtra. We've been part of government in Goa, in different states, and we've been together in the UPA for 10 years. So if you're talking about if some BJP spokesperson is going and saying there's no relevance, he's not out of Maharashtra, you cannot rule out the importance of Mr. Sharad Pawar. He's been part of the government, the tallest leader possible right now, and a leader whom the Prime Minister of our country respects also. So, what happens is there's a saying, and Kiranji will agree with me, that if you want to find some relevance, if you want to be known political, you need to say something about Mr. Pawar. And when you say something about Mr. Pawar, then there is news, you become part of the news, you get relevance. So there are some people who just for the sake of being, in the news or, trying to get some little cheap publicity, will either rile Mr. Pawar down or say something bad about him, and then the news comes up. I have to tell you one thing very clearly. There is talk about him leaving the Congress and then starting an own party. Let me tell you one thing. This is very few people who know that when he was with the Congress, there was a discussion about how if Mrs. Sonia Gandhi becomes part of the process, what will be the repercussion? And let me tell you, Mr. Pawar is a very technical person. His knowledge of what will happen in the future when you take a political decision is like something of a Nostradamus value, or he foresees because of his study. So he just mentioned that maybe an issue might come up. Now within any political party, there's always going to be somebody who likes you and somebody doesn't like you because they want to go ahead of you. And that's when they use this topic of what he suggested and try to build up a narrative that Mr. Pawar is against the Gandhi family. And that's when they asked him to leave, and that's when he left and he formed his own party. And we are here, and we did serve the people of Maharashtra for 15 years with the Congress themselves. And we've been in government. And today also we are back as a Mahavikas Agadi. We are together with the Congress and the Shiv Sena. Despite being not in government, that we were there for 2.5 years, we are still there together serving the people of Maharashtra.